The tampon king gets back in the ring. I speak of former VP nominee Tim Walz. He joined Beto O'Rourke at a Texas town hall last night, and the estrogen levels were enough to give Chuck Norris menstrual cramps.
But I think that, but I can't get past the core fact about Walz, which is he presided over, allowed the biggest city in the state to get burned down.
And seemed to not only allow it, but kind of support it, you know?
Yeah, did you see the video of his wife saying, I kept the windows open so I could smell the burning rubber from the riots?
I did not see that.
The wife whose hand he shook.
Oh my God. By the way, I mean, I know it's.
Let's be.
Picking on a little thing, but who the hell shakes their wife's hand?
What does it say about a man when he greets his wife of 30 years with a stiff, formal handshake on a public stage? For Minnesota Governor Tim Walz, that painfully awkward moment went viral and quickly started to feel like a symbol of something deeper. He's built a political brand around Minnesota nice, safe, calm, endlessly polite, projecting a steady, almost sleepy confidence meant to reassure rather than lead. But when voices like Greg Gutfeld and Tucker Carlson began pulling at the seams, a very different image emerged. Not a strong leader in control, but man presiding over a slow-motion mess while flashing a hollow, practiced smile for the cameras. That handshake didn't feel like a harmless slip. It felt like an accidental confession, exposing the gap between the public performance and the real person underneath. In a world where politicians eagerly perform warmth and affection, Walz came off cold, mechanical, and disconnected. Less a quirky moment and more a visible glitch in the act.
Politico lingers on candidates' fingers and defend Walz's wide eyes as they claim beards are for bad guys. Tyler, speaking of beards, and I mean the one on your face, not the one that you hang out with.
Let me just say that Walz and every other governor who did anything like that is a monster, and I think on some level he will be punished for it. But no, I admire what you did enough that I hope I'd be man enough to do it myself. I took minor risks during COVID by pointing out things that seemed true to me, but I didn't do anything that heroic. I think it's absolutely essential. Clearly, we're moving toward an authoritarian state. I think we've already arrived. I think your life is a testament to that.
Wait, you lost because you weren't woke enough? That's like telling Joy Behar she's not eating enough Doritos. That's like Jasmine Crockett saying, I gotta black this up. That's like Bud Light saying, hey, you know what? We could use more Dylan Mulvaney.
That friendly mask didn't just crack in 2020. It shattered when Minneapolis was engulfed in flames during the riots. Governor Tim Walz faced a true make-or-break moment, and by nearly every measure, it became a devastating failure. For days, the city burned. The 3rd Precinct Police Station was abandoned. Crowds flooded the streets, and entire neighborhoods were reduced to ash and wreckage. The footage looked unreal, yet Walz's response felt distant, delayed, and strangely hands-off. Greg Gutfeld went further than calling it incompetence, suggesting Walz didn't merely allow the destruction, but appeared to quietly tolerate it, even framing the chaos as some twisted form of progress. That perception darkened when video surfaced of Walz's wife, Gwen, allegedly saying she kept her windows open to smell the burning rubber, a comment that, whether tone-deaf or sincere, left a lasting impression. While the city suffered, leadership appeared insulated and detached from the fear on the ground. The damage didn't end when the fires were extinguished. In the aftermath, Minneapolis reportedly lost nearly 40% of its police force as officers fled a city where they felt abandoned rather than supported. To critics, this wasn't just a riot. It was a moment public safety began unraveling under a governor who seemed more concerned with progressive approval than protecting the people he was elected to serve.
Wait, so Trump is making it more difficult for women to vote? How so? Math problems? But it's further proof that the most dangerous thing for a leftist is a follow-up question, which is why you never hear any. But I guess questioning elections is okay now. But the best moment came when Walz forgot who he is.
Who is Tim Walz exactly?
It started sort of with picking up on just these little lies he would tell. He never was a command sergeant major, despite the fact him, saying that he was. He never attained this rank in the military. Instead, he abandoned his troops and they were deployed to Iraq without him, and he ran for Congress. So I've always felt as a reporter, if someone lies about little things, they're lying about big things.
That's a principle that stands the test of time.
And Minnesota has become, the home of this defund the police movement. It was on the ballot. Minneapolis did not vote to defund the police, but I would say in every way, shape, or form, they defunded the police. You have the Minneapolis Police Department that's lost about 40% of their cops since George Floyd. But instead of being
Minneapolis lost 40% of its cops in 5 years?
Nearly half, yeah.